It was 7:03 a.m. when the quiet of our suburban cul-de-sac shattered. The screech of metal and a woman's furious yells echoed like a siren, as if the gates of our peaceful community had morphed into a fortress wall. That woman was Linda, and her meltdown was all because of a new lock on our neighborhood gate, a lock I'd installed as the local locksmith. From my porch, coffee in hand, I watched the drama unfold on my phone's live feed, the camera hidden in the gate's keypad capturing every frantic jab Linda made at the buttons. She didn't know I was the one who'd built the system she was raging against, and that made her tantrum all the more satisfying. 3 weeks earlier, our neighborhood had been plagued by petty thefts, packages vanishing from porches, kids' bikes left unsecured. The Homeowners Association, led by President Tom Bradley, finally voted to fix our crumbling front gate. As the only certified locksmith in a 20-mile radius and a resident of this tightly knit community, I'd offered a solution: a modern Bluetooth-enabled lock with key fobs, cameras, and real-time access logs. My plan was budget-friendly, and I even threw in free fobs for every household. The vote passed unanimously, including Linda's signature on the approval form, though I'm certain she didn't read a word of it. She just loved the spotlight of signing things. Installation day went smoothly. I swapped the rusty 90s latch for a sleek system that made the neighborhood safer. Kids rode their bikes without worry, elderly residents like Mrs. Carter felt secure, and packages stopped disappearing. Everyone was thrilled except Linda. She'd been propping the gate open with a rock to slip out to the dog park, sometimes letting strangers in. When I removed that rock and tossed it in a dumpster for good measure, she took it personally. That morning, after 20 minutes of her theatrical outburst, Linda stormed up my driveway, her sun visor flapping like a battle flag. "You think you're some kind of neighborhood king, locking us out?" she snapped, arms crossed, chin tilted so high I thought she'd sprain her neck. "This is harassment. You're violating my right to move freely." I sipped my coffee, handed her the HOA approval form with her signature, and watched her face twist as she realized she'd signed off on the very system she despised. Flustered, she pivoted. "I never got my fob. You locked me out on purpose." I pulled up the delivery receipt on my phone, showing her signature and a timestamp. Speechless, she stomped off, muttering about lawsuits and gate revenge. Her tantrum didn't stay private. 3 Ring cameras and my gate cam recorded it. And within hours, the neighborhood group chat was buzzing with clips of her meltdown, some edited with dramatic music or turned into a mock movie trailer. Lockdown on Liberty Lane. I should have felt bad, but Linda had earned this. Soon, her antics escalated. Tissues stuffed in the lock, prank calls demanding the gatekeeper, even a plastic flamingo zip tied to my mailbox with a note reading, "Down with lock oppression." Then came an anonymous email, riddled with typos, starting a petition to oust me for gate sabotage. It listed Linda as the lead signer, complete with her signature. When confronted, she blamed her cat for using her laptop. Things got wilder when she held freedom rallies at the gate, waving signs like "Open Gates, Free Souls," with 2 friends in matching straw hats. When her megaphone died mid-chant, echoing her voice in slow motion, I nearly lost it. Despite the chaos, I stayed calm, upgrading the system with tamper alerts and facial recognition. The gate worked perfectly, and the neighborhood felt safer than ever. But Linda wasn't done. At 2:47 a.m., my phone pinged with a failed override attempt. Someone wearing pink polka dot pajama pants had tried to hack the keypad with a decoder, only to fry it and trigger a lockdown. The limp in her walk gave her away. She left notes on my door about excessive locking and even tried to glue the gate hinges shut, caught again by cameras. The neighborhood chat exploded with memes, dubbing her the locksmith slayer. At the next HOA meeting, Linda arrived with pamphlets titled "The Gate Crisis: Unlocked Truths," wearing a shirt that read, "I have a right to enter." She ranted about my gate monopoly, accusing me of hoarding fobs for the black market. When I showed proof she'd received her fob, she claimed I'd hacked her mailbox. Then she said she'd spiritually rejected the fob, prompting laughter so loud Mrs. Jenkins nearly choked on her lemon bar. Her motion to remove the gate failed spectacularly, and she stormed out, tripping into a broom closet on the way. Her next move was a blog, "Open Gates, Open Minds," filled with conspiracies about RFID fobs and my supposed ties to tech giants. She even cited whistleblower squirrels. When I traced an email offering to buy gate admin access to her Wi-Fi, I knew humor wouldn't cut it anymore. I sent all evidence logs, footage, emails to the HOA. Tom called, exhausted, saying Linda had emailed the mayor about key fob apartheid. I added a facial recognition block list to the gate, ensuring any tampering by Linda would lock her out. The final straw came at 5:12 a.m. when the gate went into full lockdown after someone tried to cut its wiring with bolt cutters and a drill. The panel was scorched, and a universal decoder lay in the mud. Linda, standing on a bench, blamed the gate for turning against the people. I fixed it in minutes, showed footage of her neon Crocs under floodlights, and handed over a diagnostic log. She claimed she was helping her cousin, who lived 3 towns away. No one bought it. At an emergency HOA meeting, the board stripped Linda of all committee roles, fined her for tampering, and downgraded her gate access to visitor status. She screamed about digital lynching and tore up the HOA charter, but her petition to recall the board signed by Batman and fake names only drew laughter. That night, she tried to pry open a decoy panel I'd installed, tripping over her crowbar as cameras rolled. Linda's last act was a fake wellness check, claiming I was screaming in my basement. The police, amused, left after seeing my permits. I sent the call report to the board, who filed a formal complaint for wasting city resources. Days later, a shoddy letter from a law firm demanded $10,000 and the gate's removal. I replied with her signed approval and a photo of her tampering, and heard nothing back. A week later, Linda put her house up for sale, listing the gate system as an amenity. She moved out quietly, the gate closing behind her car with a satisfying click. The neighborhood healed fast. We repainted benches, added guest access to the gate, and threw a cookout with a padlock-shaped cake. A teen drew a sidewalk mural calling me Locksmith legend. Peace returned, and the gate stood as a symbol of order. Linda didn't just fight the gate, she fought control she never had. Her obsession built her own prison, while the locks she hated kept us safe. I went back to fixing locks and sipping coffee, the neighborhood humming with life. What do you think about Linda's actions? Was she a victim of her own frustrations or a disruptor who crossed the line? Share your thoughts in the comments below, especially on how far someone should go to challenge perceived injustice. Let's hear your stance.